These are 10 extreme NBA transformations, but not just physically, inspiring transformations too. Number 10, J.R. Smith. He blew a finals game for LeBron in 2018, but his stupidity cost a man his life. In 2009, J.R. pled guilty to reckless driving in a wreck that killed his teammate Andre Bell. Since retiring though, he has gone back to school, he's a star on his college golf team, and he talks about how immature his mindset used to be.
We'd rather go throw $60,000 in the club, in the strip club. Go throw $60,000 than go feed 2,500 people in the hood.
Number 9, Marc Gasol. You probably don't recognize him, but this is Marc Gasol. He was a tall, fat kid with no hope after high school. So he moved back to Spain from Memphis to work on his body, and after 5 years, became a second-round pick in 2007. All that work paid off as a super fit, defensive-minded NBA champion. Number 8, Kobe Bryant. One of the most difficult things to process for NBA fans is that Kobe was both a legend and he was accused of sexual assault in 2003. Charges were dropped, but Kobe did admit to at least cheating on his wife. And look, the NBA is filled with young guys who are living that rock star lifestyle, but by the time Kobe retired, he had completely changed. A father of 4 girls, a champion of women's sports, and married for almost 20 years when he tragically passed. Number 7, DeMar DeRozan. He grew up as a member of the Crip gang in Compton. It's no coincidence he dominated in the 6 games that Toronto wore Crip blue. In all seriousness though, DeRozan lost family members and his best friend to gang violence as a kid. His painful past led to severe depression in the NBA. In 2018, his not so subtle tweets literally begged for help. Since then though, he has recovered with the help of therapy and a psychiatrist, and it's led to his best year ever on the court at 32 years old. Number 6, Michael Sweetney. Most people know Sweetney for going from this to this as a pro player, but he's actually inspiring. Before getting drafted, Mike's father, who was his hero, passed away. Sweetney turned to food for comfort, and once his weight got out of control, he became both depressed and suicidal. Months after becoming a top 10 pick, he actually tried to take his own life. But once he fell out of the NBA, Sweetney got the help he needed, and now he shares his story with other people dealing with depression and anxiety. Number 5, Chris Birdman Anderson. His Freebird neck tattoo took over 30 hours to complete, but he didn't get his first tat for 21 years. Seriously, he used to be a clean-skinned rookie for the Denver Nuggets. Birdman grew up with a mom who loved tattoos, but he waited until he went pro to get his first tat. But by the time he was in Miami, 75% of his body was covered, and it cost him a whopping $0.
What's the most expensive one you got on you?
None of them.
None of them? You didn't pay for any of them?
I'm a walking billboard.
No way.
Number 4, Jason Kidd. As a Mavericks rookie in 2004, Kidd flipped a Land Cruiser, and in a panic, he fled the scene with 2 passengers left behind. And those were the kind of decisions that he made back in the day. But by far, the worst thing he did was with the Suns in 2001. Kidd hit his wife in the face in front of their child. Apparently, Jason took a French fry from their 2-year-old son's plate, and when Jemana told him not to eat their son's food, he spit the fry in her face and smacked her. She ran up the stairs, called the cops, and told Jason this would be the last time. When police arrived, she said, "Don't worry about me. This is minor compared to what I usually go through." The Suns basically swept this under the rug at the time. He only missed 4 games. If this happened today, I think Jason would have been suspended for months at least, and his reputation would be ruined. Now, people seem to have forgotten about Kidd's past, and he's generally respected. But by the time Kidd returned to Dallas, he was 35 years old, and he grew into a leader who won a championship in 2011. Now, yes, I'll admit he has had some embarrassing moments since then as a coach, but today, he is trusted with developing the Mavs' best player since Dirk. Number 3, Dennis Rodman. Rodman was talented but troubled going back to his Pistons days. He even was found with a loaded gun in a parking lot in Detroit. But it wasn't until he was traded to the Spurs that Rodman's outside started to match his inside. Before his introduction in San Antonio, Rodman saw the movie Demolition Man. He stopped by a hair salon and he asked for the Wesley Snipes. When he took his hat off at the introduction, a new Rodman was born. Dennis went from a basketball player to an entertainer, and people loved it. The more positive reinforcement he got from everyone, the more he leaned into like being a freak, but it was actually therapeutic to him. Rodman actually says he started to love himself the more he started to be himself. And he loved himself so much he got married to himself as a member of the Bulls in '96. Number 2, Ron Artest. A psychologist taught Ron that when he felt really angry, he should just lay down and count to 10. But by the time he got to 7, a fan hit him with a beer in his chest. Ron charged into the stands and a gigantic brawl broke out that got Ron banned for a year. A lot of people don't know this, but Kobe was key to Artest turning his life around. At 29 years old, the only team that offered Ron a contract was the Lakers, but he had to convince Kobe he was willing to change.
Understanding this is not a place to come in and goof around or to act out or anything like that. I'm expecting you to be extremely sharp, be extremely crisp, and I won't have it another way.
So with Kobe as a leader, Ron accepted help off the court and he thrived on it. He even hit the title-clinching 3 in 2009. I mean, we give credit to DeMar DeRozan and these guys talking about mental health today. How do we forget Ron Artest actually thanked his psychiatrist on national TV?
I definitely want to thank my doctor, Dr. Sandy, my psychiatrist. She really helped me relax a lot. Thank you so much. It's so difficult to play. There's so much commotion going on in the playoffs, and she helped me relax. I thank you so much.
But number 1, Caleb Swanigan. And I hate to end this on a tragic note, but this is the quickest, most extreme transformation that we have seen. The Blazers' first-round pick dealt with weight problems growing up, but he got things together in high school. Caleb got a scholarship to Purdue after being named McDonald's All-American, but once he got to the NBA, things got rough. He fell out of the rotation as a rookie, and Caleb's mental health got out of control. He washed out in just 2 years, and a picture surfaced of him looking like this. A completely different person. His weight gain is a direct reflection of poor mental health, and even his ex-teammate Damian Lillard said you don't know what he is going through to cause such a drastic change. If you can be supportive, then do that, but don't ask no like that like it's not possible when you naturally a big dude and go down a dark road. But we're not actually ending on a tragic transformation, because one guy that I want to talk about in this season who is still playing right now is Kevin Love. Last year, the Cavs were talking about buying him out, at least trying to trade him, although they'd have to attach a pick. Now, he's potentially the 6th man of the year. And the reason he's had this transformation, no one is talking about, so I made a whole video about it right here.